Alright everyone, another video today. It's a little personal. Like I said, I'd be kind of giving my life story along with this message. And here's another one of those life stories. It's not really much different from anyone else's out there, especially those ones that have kids. You know, the ones that really love their kids, the ones that really want to be there for their kids, the ones that, haven't had that. They may be separated like me, and they're out to try to prove that, that they do love their children and that they do want to be there, and that just because struggles happen, that it gives the people around you the right to dictate your life. I have three girls. One is biological, which is the youngest, which is mine. The other two, they belong to the woman that I was with. We got together. We used to work at a grocery store together. She was pregnant before I even got with her. I decided to become a parent. I think we dated for almost a month before she actually told me she was pregnant with her first, and I accepted it. I took on the challenge. I started becoming a dad before Katie, my daughter, was ever born. So I say I have a little bit of experience before my daughter got here. But I will say this, and I do not regret my daughter one bit. I love her. I so wish she was here right now. But it seems like things have taken a twisted turn for me after Katie was born. And it's not because of her, don't get me wrong. It has to do with me and her mama and not being able to get along with each other. Katie's perfect. And every parent's going to tell that their children is perfect, because they are. We're all perfect. We're all children under God anyways, and we're all perfect. But we can make mistakes. And we can learn from those mistakes, and we can grow from those mistakes. Some of us choose to. Some of us choose to keep making the mistakes. I've chosen to be a little better than that. Um, but the message today is it's personal. And I have a ex-old lady that thinks that she can threaten my well-being. She's threatening to take me to jail because I've had a hard time paying some child support. And honestly, I never expected this. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think that one day that I would be having problems um, with money. But it's happened. It's that way. And I'm just trying to change that. And that's the point of this YouTube video, is to try to change that. You know, people could sit there and say that I don't worry about my daughter, but what am I doing? I'm sitting here making videos, trying to touch people, maybe send a positive message, and maybe get my YouTube channel known, and maybe people can help support me in my journey, and I don't know. All I know is I haven't given up yet. I keep trying. I wake up every day thinking, how am I going to do this? It's hard, you know. It's caused me to have depressional problems, because I grew up in a broken home. I had a mom and a dad that were separated, and I always vowed to never, ever, if I ever have kids, to never, ever put them through that. But it's not just me in this world. We all have choices and we all affect each other. I'm going to tell you this right now, that my daughter knows that I love her. And I know that she loves me. And that's something that will never change. She is amazing. She has shown me another side of life. I don't know about any of you fathers out there that have had a daughter. But having a boy, I don't know about having a boy, but I do know about having a daughter. And having a daughter has changed my life in ways that when I've seen parents, dads with fathers, and dads with daughters, I see a whole different personality between the two. You know, there was one time Katie was really young, and she was in the bedroom up there at the house, and she was crying. And I didn't really know how to handle it. And it was like my first experience with this, because I never really spanked Maddie and Riley. And I ended up tapping her on the leg. It seemed kind of hard. It probably was kind of hard. And my mom was standing there, and she was like, Andrew, you can't hit her that hard. And I was like, well, I didn't mean to. If it hit her real hard, I didn't mean to. It wasn't my intentions. It was just the things that I grew up seeing and how parents handled their children. I thought that that was the way I was supposed to handle it. And it's not. To this day, I still have not spanked my daughter because of that one instance. That one instance is like that one safe word that just shows you who you are not to be who you are. I'll never forget that. But I have a hard time with this. Oh, I can't make enough money to support myself, and I can't make enough money to support my daughter. And then I have other people around me pounding me, making things worse on me, trying to make my depression worse. It's like they're trying to put me in the ground. Why put someone in the ground that just wants to be there around their daughter? Why not just say, oh, well, maybe he is just having a hard time. Why can't we accept that? Maybe he is having financial problems. We keep Katie away from her. Why don't we just start bringing her around more? We understand his situation. We understand that he wants to be there. We understand that he's trying to be a father. So if he's at least trying, then why can't we try to show him that we do truly care, and let's show him that we're going to bring his daughter around to maybe give him that peace of mind, maybe give him that urge to actually just really dig even harder within and grab who I am and bring it out into this reality and be the actual father that I told myself that I would be when I was 8 years old. Because I learned about my real dad when I was about 8 years old. Because I had a stepfather for 18 years. And he was a good stepfather. We had our problems. Everybody does. We're each individuals doing our own things in this world, giving our own messages. Sometimes we don't realize, in early stages, we don't realize exactly the words that really affect each other. My daughter means everything to me. She has shown me a better life. And I owe her the world. And what's so hard about me owing her the world is because of my financial status right now. It's not that I haven't always been there to provide, because in the beginning, like I said, I've provided for a woman with 2 kids. She had Maddie, And then we were together for a while. We broke up, and then she got with some other guy, and then had Riley. Well, again, I take her back, because I love this girl. I still do love her to today. I'll always love her, just like I love those girls. That'll never change, ever change. I could be dead and gone today, and my love will still be with those girls. But that's not what I want. I want to try to continue this experience. I want to try to not only better myself, but show my girls that struggles are only temporary. And it's hard to do when you always have someone trying to discriminate against you or trying to tear you down. Don't let them tear you down. Because we all have that family member that we truly care about, that we truly want to be there for. And that's usually the things that keep us going on a daily basis. It keeps us here, because there's a bigger picture to that. That's where that strength comes in. That ability to say, forget those struggles. I got people I care about. Now, not everybody cares about everybody. Obviously, like me, we all have those people who are out to destroy you. That's fine. You can destroy me, whatever. Take my life away. Throw me in jail because I've had a hard time in life. Make things worse on me. Make things worse on my daughter. People understand that these choices affect each and every one of us. And to just put me to the side like I don't matter, like I'm not a father, like I was never there, is just insanity. We have many people in this world that have their own beliefs, their own lifestyles. They do their own things. And all I'm trying to preach is love, peace, and happiness. A positive message. But yet, people say it's not positive. It's retarded. It's... If love, peace, and happiness was so retarded, then why do we put ourselves through this struggle to try to be there for someone that we truly care about? What's so retarded about that? The struggles may be retarded, I agree. But that love that we have for someone, man, that's intelligence. Now, like I said, this girl, I supported her. She didn't work. I worked for about, I worked straight out through high school, and I continued to work through the 5 years that me and Brittany worked together. And there was things that I did for her. There was things that I did for those girls. When those girls needed bottles and diapers, and Brittany was only made food stamps, I would go out and get those bottles and diapers. I'd help her pay rent on her home. It wasn't just for me. Yeah, I was staying there, but it was also for her and those girls. It helped them keep a roof over their head. And then one day, out of the blue, right after Katie was born, I started having bad luck with work. Things were not looking up for me. And they was just getting worse. They were spiraling down into a pit of disaster. And one day, Brittany decides to go out and get a job. Well, as soon as she got that job, she ups and leaves me, knowing that we have a daughter together. And knowing that, I used to call this girl my Pocahontas. As goofy as that may sound, it was sweet to me. It was a word that I used to describe how much I loved her. It was a word that I described her beauty. It was a word that I used on a daily basis. This is not something that she heard just once every now and then. This is something that she heard every single day. And those girls know that. give them more example of how I love those girls. One day, we was living in Shawnee, Oklahoma, in these apartments, and Maddie, she was maybe 2 or 3 years old, maybe two, and yeah, it's probably about 2 years old. You know, us guys, we forget stuff like that. But she was 2 years old, and she was crawling on the back of the sofa. And me and Brittany kept telling her, be careful, you don't need to be up there. You're going to fall and you're going to hit your head. And the reason why we say this is because we've seen it. We've done it. We've crawled on the back of sofas. We fell off the couch and we've bumped our heads. And we was trying to warn her. Well, she crawled up there that one last time and she fell and she bumped her head. You know, she didn't go to her mama. You know, she came to me. And it's because I ran over there, I picked her up, I put her on my shoulder, I kept her in my I kept her in her ear and told her everything was going to be all right. And you know how long? She was crying. As soon as I picked her up, the moment I started talking into her ear, she stopped crying. Regardless of the pain that she was enduring, it was the voice, it was the words, it was the love that I was showing her that made her feel safe. Now I know I'm not out there to saying that I'm better than every other dad out there. No. Like I said, I have my struggles too. But I do know how to be a good parent. And these girls have shown me that. I couldn't have just picked that up just from watching television. I mean, in a sense, yeah, I could have understood it. But you have to be able to go through that experience also. It helps you create someone that you may want to be. And I took that experience on. And honestly, it's led me down a road of disaster, but it's also led me down a road of discovery. Now, with all that being said, just giving you a little description of some of my life, you know, because I told you that I wanted to kind of implement my life and make this page a little bit more appealing to people, make it more real, you know, because these things these things can help people. They can help inspire people to keep continuing. If you've got that daughter out there that you're separated from and you're trying to be there, maybe this message will help you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and keep going and going and showing that uh, those people, obviously some of them aren't going to, there's, no matter what you do, they're still going to say you're crazy or you're insane or you're not fit to raise my daughter, or you know, there's endless amounts of negativity out there that people can throw towards you to knock you on your knees. And by golly, it can knock you on your knees. That's what it's there to for. That's what it's there for. That's its sole purpose, is to knock you on your knees. But your sole purpose is to understand that where your knees are or where they're not supposed to be. And if they do get knocked down, your sole purpose is to know that you can pick yourself up, put yourself back on your feet, and start walking again. Now, I love my daughter, and I will say this over and over and over.